Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Trials to Triumph. Thank you for joining me. I'm Pastor Brad Closter from Living Word North Church in Bel Air, Michigan. When we do these, we do them for you. We don't do them for me. We don't do them to get my name or my face out there. That's nothing anybody really needs to see. But what we do is we get the Word of God to you, and we do them for you because we want you to be successful. We don't want you to be kind of successful. We want you to be successful in every area of your life. Everything that you do, we want you to have success. And so that's why we do this. That's why we come to you like this. I hope that it's a benefit. I hope it's a blessing. Whether you are a part of our church family or not, I hope that you're getting something out of this and that it's a blessing to your life. Hey, we're talking these days about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. That somehow there were people who found the strength, found the whatever it took down on the inside of them, we'll call it faith, to believe God and believe that God could do what he actually said he could do. And last week we talked about Mr. Unnamed Centurion who by his faith got his servant healed by the hand of Jesus. Now, I want to talk to you today about another ordinary person. Say it with me. Ordinary person doing extraordinary things. Another person who is unnamed in the Bible, but will forever be one of the great examples of how faith works. And so I want to show you this person. She's in Luke chapter 8. And this woman, she is referred to, many people know her as the woman with the issue of blood. You know, I kind of have a problem with that because when we say the woman with the issue of blood, everybody knows who this is, but she is not the woman with the issue of blood. She was the woman that did have, not currently has, but did have the issue of blood because she was healed. I would rather call this woman the woman of faith. Maybe that would be a better nickname for her than the woman with the issue of blood. But regardless, her story is found in the Gospels, and in Luke chapter 8, it tells her story. And in Luke 8, starting in verse 43, it says, "Now a woman having an issue of blood for 12 years, who had spent all her livelihood on physicians and could not be healed by any, came from behind and touched the border of his garment, and immediately her flow of blood stopped." Now, you can find this in other Gospels. It gets into a little more detail about how this story transpired. But this is what I want to focus on in this particular event. For 12 years, she'd been dealing with this issue. She spent all that she had. She couldn't be healed. She was struggling. Nothing seemed to be working. You want to talk about a trial. I don't know about you, but I've been in some places before where it seemed like nothing seemed to be working. And for this woman, at this moment in time, see, we can say, oh, it's no big deal because we know the end of the story. She didn't know the end of the story yet. She was the story. But at this moment of time, everything was wrong. I have a body that's not working. I have money that's gone. I have hope that's depleted. Nothing right now is going my way. But she said, I've heard about this guy named Jesus, and I believe that he can heal me. And one account in the Gospels, I forget which book it's in, but not Luke, but one of the other accounts, talks about how she had to fight through the crowd to get where Jesus was. Now, keep in mind, in her condition, she was risking her life to do what she did. This wasn't just a convenience thing. This is, it's no big deal if I go do this because I was just on my way to the grocery store. No, she went out of her way. She risked her life and her well-being and maybe her family's life and well-being to do what she was about to do because she believed Jesus and she believed that Jesus was the healer. And she believed if she just got to him, that she could be healed. Now, let me challenge you for a minute. Do you have the faith to believe that? Because a lot of people would say that they would believe that. A lot of people would say that they have the faith to do that. But honestly, they don't even have enough faith to find their way to church most of the time. And I don't mean to get you all worked up, but I think I'm hitting something here, because if you don't have the faith to do the little basic things like the kindergarten level discipline of a Christian going to church, then how do you expect to have enough faith for Jesus to move? Not because you went and told Jesus what you needed, not because you interviewed him, not because you paid him, not because you did anything, but because you touched the hem of his garment. Your faith was so strong that just reaching out and touching Jesus changed everything. See, here's another example of an ordinary person doing extraordinary things through their faith. Another person who's unnamed in the Bible, but yet had enough faith on the inside of them to believe that God is who he says he is and he can do what he said he can do. I challenge every one of us. I'm challenging myself preaching right now. But I challenge every one of us. Do you have the faith to believe that God can do that for you? Do you have the faith to believe that God will reward your faith? Because if we actually lived in faith like that, I believe we would see greater things, greater miracles, greater things that Jesus does for us, because we're stepping out, doing something that is brand new, doing something that's difficult, doing something that's hard, because we believe and because we have the faith that God will reward that. This woman put everything on the line. She was still never named, but Jesus said that her faith made the presence of God go out of him. Now that is pretty severe, and that's a person that I want to model my life after. And I think all of us would agree. We almost need to give her a standing ovation, because she did it right. She gave us an example of how to pursue Jesus correctly. Hey, thanks for joining me. I hope this was a help and a blessing to you. We'll see you again next time on our Trials to Triumph.